In this series, I'm going to be showing you how to make an RPG from scratch, something like this, where it has a dialogue system with choices, and also an inventory, along with traveling between different rooms with transitions. So let's get started. Welcome back to another part. This is... I lost count. Anyways, we're going to be doing a settings menu today, because it is very important for games to have settings. I know this is the boring part, so we're going to make a object called settings menu, and we're going to create a new room. I'm just going to do it by duplicating the main menu, just because it's easy. We're going to call it settings, and we're going to go ahead and delete all the objects in this because we already have them in the menu and they're persistent. So, if you remember in the last part, we made a alternative button system, which I will be using in this, but you can still use button strings in the same way while activating the functions that we will be covering in this video. So I will try to show you both parts, but it does get a little confusing. So if you do have any questions, just leave in the comments. I'm going to be using the alternative menu just because it is probably more popular in this kind of genre. Anyways, we're going to go into the main menu and just copy this button list, and we're going to paste it into the create event of the settings menu. And before we forget, make sure the settings menu is inside of the settings room, and we're going to go to the main menu. And since we already set up a settings thing before, we're going to make it a function, and we're going to go to the settings on the settings button. And again, you can use this in the button system, so you do button string in the draw event, but if you're using the alternative, you can just do this and that should work. Let me just double check. If I go to settings, hit enter, it's going to say button quit not set before reading. Why would that be? Well, we already encountered an issue. Unknown object button quit not set before reading. Oh, yes. That is because I'm calling functions in this, where I am not supposed to be calling functions because they don't exist. So I'm going to go ahead and just comment that out to make sure this works. Yep, now we're in the settings menu. And if you want to know how to do that scrolling background, just have a sprite like this and have the... so what I do... I have the scroll equals 0, depth equals 101. I'm going to put that in the settings menu, for example. Just like this. And then in the draw event, I'm going to say scroll plus equals 0.2, I believe is the speed I was doing. Yep, and then you draw sprite tiled just like this. And I'll paste that here. And it's going to be at the coordinates of scroll, and that should work perfect. Now, if I were to just run this, you will see it will actually work. Oh, that's because make sure you put an effect of Gaussian blur. I do an intensity of 0.3, and make sure that depth is at 100. You just want it to be a little, you want the depth of that object to be more than this layer for the effect. Now, we have the main menu working. It goes to the settings menu, add the play button and the quit. And just to show you the play button actually does work, we could do that, and now we're in the game. But now we're going to work on the settings menu. So the things we're going to need in the settings is a button list. We're going to need one for, let's see, we could do volume controls, we can do kind of anything there. This might be a lazy way to do it, but I'm going to have a button for volume up and volume down. Separate buttons. That's just what I'm going to do. And volume down. And since we do not have anything else, it's not very helpful. And we're just going to make an object for later use called sound manager. I'm going to make that persistent and throw it in the menu. Oops, if I'm on the right layer. Now, and in that, we're just going to put a volume. We'll eventually do music and sound effects, but that is further in the future. So now, if we go back to the settings, we are going to say we need a function for button volume up. And then same thing with down. Oops, that did not work. And we're just going to say sound manager dot volume plus equals 10. We're going to do it in increments of 10 just because it is a lot easier. And then clicking it 100 times to mute it. Now, we're just going to say put these functions in right there. And now we're going to say in the draw GUI, and this is actually going to be the exact same thing that we had in the menu. The button list draw, I'm doing it in the middle, 60 on the Y, button list 0.5, 16 for padding. So now if I go ahead and run this, and I go to settings, now we see a volume up and volume down. If I hit enter, obviously we can't hear the volume, so we are going to make just a thing on the left side here saying what we're doing. And I'm going to scoop this over to 180 and make sure that it has enough room. Yep, it's going to be on the right. And then the left side is going to show the actual volume. Maybe I should do it the other way around. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have the left side be the controls. Just like that. And then we'll have the volume read right there. I'm just going to do draw text. Transformed. I'm just going to put it at 180, 40. I'm going to say volume plus the string of sound manager dot volume. And then the X scale, we're going to do 0.5, 0.5 for Y, and then angle 0. Now if we run that, we should be able to read out what the volume is displaying. Now if I go up to up and I do that, it is increasing the volume, but it's going above 100. So since we're in here in the settings menu, or actually better yet, let's do it in the sound manager. We're going to say in the step event, volume equals clamp volume 0 to 100, just so it can't go below or above that. And it might show going above it for, yep, just like that. And you know what, just to be better, so it doesn't do that weird thing where we go in the settings menu and here we're just gonna put this here instead, just so it doesn't show that weird change of value, even though it isn't able to be changed. Now if I hit up, it can't go above 100. If I go down, it can't go below 0. Just like that, we have a settings menu working with the buttons, and that is it. And I should probably mention there's no way to go back, so you could probably add a button for back. But yes, and then one more thing as well. When you hit enter on one of these, or I guess no, we shouldn't do it that way. With the volume, we don't want it to reset the button position. But for example, in the main menu, when you hit play, or settings actually is the only one that uses it, we're going to say button handler that button select equals 0. For example, how it was doing it before, it was when I hit settings, I was starting on volume down because the index was 1, but it reset to 1, so I started on volume up. And we are going to add a back button in the settings. So I'm just going to copy one of these real quick. I'm going to say back to menu, function, oops, I cannot spell, button back to menu, and this is going to be super easy. I'm going to say room, go to, and we're going to do RM menu, and then we're also going to say O button handler dot button select equals 0, and then make sure you put that function in here. Now if I hit enter on here, there is these options for the controls, and then if I go back, it'll go back to the main menu. So that is the basics of a settings menu, or at least controlling different variables with the buttons in the game. And you can do something very similar with the other button system by using these functions and just manually drawing where you want the buttons by doing like button string, and then passing in the proper functions. Just make sure the functions are in the draw GUI or the create event, or else you will not be able to find them. The create event is probably fine. It's probably the best way to do that, so it doesn't keep remaking them and overwriting them. But anyways, that is it for this part. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, I have figured out the issue, and I actually simplified it a little further. So I removed the button initialize, so you can go ahead and delete that. And then I added a argument to button list draw. I just put the list in here, and then anytime it says O button handler button list, replace it with this list, which is there, and there, I believe. Yep, that should be all the places it is in. And then I also went into my, actually I need to go to button handler. You delete this button list, and then also go to main menu or wherever you have this, and just change this instead of button initialize, just say button list equals the array of button list formats. Now, as long as you pass in that button list, if we go to play, we now have the list showing, and if I were to do that, it's gonna crash because we don't really know what is happening right now. And oh, incorrect, undefined. Interesting. Let's see here. Oh, do not put 2. I put 2 there. Make sure they say undefined. But yeah, we need to make sure we know which one is visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just use the less than and greater than symbol on the keyboard to literally show this. So, just to make this somewhat painless, we have the text center X and text center Y, so we know how to do that. Now we need to know the string width of this, so we're just going to make a variable called width, or W, and then we're going to do if is hover. We're going to say draw text transformed, and we're going to actually say XX, or sorry, text center X, text center Y, because it's getting those coordinates. And now we need to draw one to the left and one to the right. So this one's going to be minus width divided by 2, and then we're just going to do an additional 8 for now. And then we're going to do the same thing. Actually, nothing on the Y, sorry. And then the string is going to be the arrow, or the greater than symbol. And then we're going to do the text scale, which is the scale, and then angle 0. And I'm just going to copy this, and instead make this a less than, and do a +8. Now, if I go ahead and run this, we should be able to see which one we are selecting in a very weird way, I guess. Interesting. So we have the text center width, which is XX minus. Oh, I see. Instead of doing center X and center Y, just do XX and YY, I believe. Okay, it looks like that worked on that one. Wow, this is weird. We're going to keep text center Y because that looked like it was doing fine. divided by 2 plus 8. Huh, this is really weird. I feel like I'm just doing something really goofy right now. I am. Absolutely am. Yeah, plus width divided by 2 on that one. And now we have the arrows showing, and that looks really weird. So we're going to say minus 8. Wow, okay. And we're going to do parentheses for those. Clearly that matters. That broke everything. That should fix it. There. Oh. Wait, why? Why does it do this? Oh, because it's not centering the X. I see. Okay. Solution. Minus 8. Text center X minus 8. And then we're going to do text center X plus width plus 8. I don't know why I didn't think of this. It's doing the same thing. Is this just a weird thing with this font, maybe? What if I just do nothing? Plus 4. Is it really plus 4? Plus 3. Okay, I guess dial it in if your text also does this. But that is working for me. Now, if I hover over quit and I hit enter, it still crashes. Script execute, game end, argument 1, incorrect type, undefined. That might just be because that is not wanting to actually do script execute. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So I'm passing in the arguments just fine. arg1, arg2, arg3. I believe, and I might be wrong here, that game end is not actually one that you can do. Yeah, that is really weird. Okay, you cannot do a built-in function that does not take arguments. That's really weird. So if I do button quit, it'll be pretty much doing the same thing as what I was trying to do. I could just do game end. That is a very weird issue. But I guess that matters. So now if I go to here, it'll actually close the game. That's perfect. Anyways, that is all for this. And if you guys do have any other questions, do let me know, and I will try to solve any of your problems in the comments. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next part where we cover something a little more important for the series.